She is sitting across from him. He has not touched her. He has not complimented her. He has not done a single thing that men are taught to do. And yet something inside her is shifting. Her pulse is slightly faster. Her thoughts keep returning to him. She cannot explain it, but she feels it. And the man next to him, who is better looking, better dressed, trying harder, doing everything right, does not exist to her anymore. This is not a coincidence. This is not luck. This is neuroscience. Researchers studying female desire at Rutgers University discovered something that shattered the conventional model of attraction entirely. The brain areas that activate during deep romantic obsession are not triggered by physical contact first. They are triggered by something that happens long before any touch, something psychological, something invisible to the untrained eye. And here is what nobody is telling you. Most men are competing on the wrong level. They are optimizing their appearance, their status, their opening lines, while women are being moved by something operating several layers beneath all of that, something primal, something ancient, something so deeply wired into female psychology that it bypasses rational thought completely. Psychologists call it pre-attachment activation. The moment before a woman consciously decides she is attracted, her subconscious has already decided for her. And that decision is made based on 5 specific behavioral signals. Not looks, not money, not confidence in the way men define it. 5 things, backed by science, that hit harder than any physical move you could ever make. We are going to go through all 5 today, each one more unsettling than the last. But number 5 is the one that nobody talks about. The one that creates obsession so deep, women describe it as feeling almost out of their control. Stay with this. The first thing that triggers attraction deeper than intimacy is something so simple, most men walk past it every single day without realizing what they just destroyed. It is called autonomy signaling. And it works like this. When a woman senses that a man does not need her validation to feel complete, something switches on inside her that she cannot turn off. Not arrogance, not coldness, something more specific than that. The quiet, undeniable signal that he has a life, a direction, a sense of self that exists entirely independent of her reaction to him. Behavioral research on attraction published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that women rate men significantly higher in desirability when those men display what researchers called goalward momentum. A man in motion, a man with somewhere to be, a man who is building something, not performing it, actually doing it, because women can feel the difference. And the feeling of a man who genuinely does not need her approval creates a psychological tension she cannot ignore. Her brain registers it as a challenge, and the human brain is hardwired to want what does not come easily. Think about the last time someone pulled away slightly, not manipulatively, just genuinely had other things going on. Remember how your attention sharpened? That is not weakness. That is neuroscience. That is dopamine doing exactly what it was designed to do. Now imagine that signal running continuously, naturally, through everything a man does. That is the first trigger. And it is already more powerful than most men realize. But the second one goes even deeper, because it does not just create attraction, it creates something closer to emotional dependency. Psychologists have a name for it, and once you understand what it actually does inside her mind, you will never see ordinary conversation the same way again. The second trigger is called emotional unpredictability, and before you misunderstand it, listen carefully, because most men hear that phrase and think it means playing games, being distant, going hot and cold on purpose. That is not what this is. What psychologists are describing is something far more sophisticated and far more powerful. Studies on dopamine release in social bonding situations show that the brain does not reward consistency. It rewards variation. Specifically, it rewards moments where something unexpected and positive happens after a period of emotional neutrality. Researchers call this variable reward scheduling. And it is the same psychological mechanism behind why people cannot put their phones down, why gambling is addictive, why certain people become impossible to stop thinking about. When a man is mostly calm, mostly steady, mostly unreadable, and then suddenly reveals something genuine, something vulnerable, something unexpectedly deep, her brain does not just respond, it floods. Oxytocin, dopamine, norepinephrine, all at once, all triggered by a single moment of authentic emotional contrast. She does not know why she is still thinking about what he said 3 days later. She just is. This is not manipulation. This is understanding how the brain processes emotional information and using your natural depth intentionally instead of hiding it or performing constantly. The men who do this without knowing it are called mysterious, magnetic, dangerous in the best way. Women describe them as the ones they could not figure out, could not get enough of, could not stop replaying in their minds. And here is what makes this even more unsettling. The third trigger does not require words at all. It operates entirely in silence, in stillness, in the space between what is said and what is not. Psychologists have found it is the single most underestimated force in human attraction. And most men are accidentally destroying it every single day without realizing what they are losing. The third trigger is comfortable silence, and it sounds too simple to be this powerful. But the research behind it will change how you understand every interaction you have ever had. Psychologists studying interpersonal bonding found that the ability to sit in silence with someone without filling it, without performing, without reaching for your phone, without needing to be entertained, signals something to the female brain that words simply cannot. It signals safety, depth, emotional security, the rarest combination a man can project in the modern world where everyone is constantly performing, constantly talking, constantly trying to be interesting. A man who is comfortable in silence is a man who is comfortable in himself. And that feeling, that specific feeling of being near someone who does not need noise to feel okay, is something women describe as immediately, almost frighteningly attractive. The fourth trigger is directness without aggression. Not assertiveness in the loud, dominant, performative way, but the quiet clarity of a man who knows what he wants, says it without apology, and does not collapse when she pushes back. Behavioral research suggests that decisiveness activates trust pathways in the female brain faster than almost any other behavioral signal. Because trust and attraction in women are not separate systems, they are the same system. And now we arrive at the fifth trigger, the one psychologists call the silent obsession trigger, the one that operates beneath everything else. It is being fully present. Not present in the way people say it casually, present in the way that makes a woman feel like she is the only thing in the room, like time slowed down, like he actually sees her, not the version of her she performs for the world, but something underneath that. Something she has not even shown herself yet. Studies on attachment and romantic bonding consistently show that the feeling of being truly seen by another person activates the deepest emotional circuits in the human brain, more powerful than physical touch, more lasting than grand gestures, more addictive than anything else she will experience. Because in a world full of distracted, half-present, performance-driven men, a man who is genuinely, completely, quietly there is not just attractive, he is unforgettable. And she will not know why she cannot stop thinking about him. She will not be able to explain it to her friends. She will just know that something about him felt different, felt real, felt like something she does not want to lose. That is not luck. That is not mystery. That is psychology operating exactly the way it was designed to. And now you know. If this shifted something in how you see attraction, you already understand more than most men ever will. The patterns we decoded today are not tricks. They are not tactics. They are the invisible architecture behind why certain men become unforgettable while others disappear from memory the moment they leave the room. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper into the psychology of attraction, desire, power, and human behavior, this channel exists for exactly that reason. Subscribe to Dark Psychology Decoded. Because the truth about human behavior is rarely comfortable, but it is always worth knowing. We will see you in the next one.